Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, lived a little bird. Now, this little bird was known to be the most timid bird in the whole forest. It was so shy and gentle that even the slightest of noises would startle it. One gentle breeze could make it tremble, and a falling leaf could send it fluttering away. One day, a fierce storm hit the forest. The wind howled like a hungry wolf, and the rain poured down in heavy sheets. Suddenly, the little bird noticed a tiny, fragile sapling near the river's edge. The wind was so strong that it had already uprooted a portion of the sapling's roots, and the raging waters were pulling it further away from the riverbank. If nothing was done, the current would soon wash it away, and the young tree would die. Seeing this, the larger birds gathered nearby started boasting about how brave they were. "Oh, if it were me, I wouldn't even bother to try," said one, puffing out his chest. "I'd grab that vine, fly upstream, and tie it to a sturdy branch." Another bird added, "Yes, that's what I would do too. A tiny tree doesn't stand a chance against this current." They all talked about how brave they would be, yet none of them dared to face the wrath of the storm. All of them flew away to safer places, leaving the little bird alone with the frightened sapling. The little bird was terrified. Its heart pounded in its chest, and all it wanted to do was fly away and hide in a cozy nest somewhere. But as it looked at the struggling sapling, it knew it couldn't just leave it to die. Despite its fear, the little bird decided to try. It took a deep breath, trying to calm its racing heartbeat, and flew towards the troubled sapling. As it flew, the wind tore at its wings, and the heavy rain made it hard to see. Each gust of wind threatened to knock it off course, and each drop of water felt like a tiny needle prickling its skin. But the little bird kept going, its eyes fixed on the struggling sapling. Then, just as it reached the sapling, the wind almost knocked it out of the sky. The little bird struggled to keep its balance, but managed to grab a loose vine dangling from the branches of a tree. With one end of the vine secured in its beak, the bird then flew upstream to find something sturdy to tie the other end to. The little bird searched frantically, and just when it was about to lose hope, it spotted an old tree with thick, gnarled roots. Gaining a new burst of energy, it tied the vine to a strong root and then quickly flew back to the sapling. By now, the current had pulled the sapling even closer to the edge, and the little bird knew it had to hurry. It repositioned itself on the vine, readjusted its grip, and gave a final tug. To its immense relief, the sapling was secured. The little bird had done it. The sapling was no longer in danger of being washed away. As the storm continued to rage outside, the little bird, drenched, exhausted but happy, nestled on a twig near the saved sapling. It looked up at the older birds who were watching from a distance and gave them a small chirp. In that moment, the older birds understood that true courage doesn't come from the absence of fear. It comes from facing your fears and doing what's right anyway. And so, the little bird, despite being the most timid bird in the forest, became a hero that day. It showed everyone that even the smallest of creatures can display immense bravery, and that the greatest acts of courage are often done by those who are most afraid. Many years passed, and the sapling that the little bird had saved grew into a strong, tall tree. It stood tall and proud, its branches reaching up towards the sky. And every year, during the rainy season, the tree would remember the little bird and the day it had been saved. The tree would also tell the other trees about the little bird and its bravery, and the news of the little bird's heroism would spread throughout the forest. So whenever any animal in the forest faced a challenge or needed help, they would remember the story of the little bird. They would remember that sometimes the smallest and most unassuming creatures can display the greatest courage, and that acts of kindness and bravery are always worth it. Now, I've heard many stories about courage, but this one truly touched my heart. You see, our world often praises those who appear strong and fearless, those who take risks without a moment's hesitation. But rarely do we acknowledge the quiet acts of bravery that happen every day. Have you ever seen a young mother comforting her crying baby in the middle of the night? Have you ever seen an elderly person helping someone in need despite their own limitations? Or have you ever seen a friend standing up for you, even when they're afraid? These are the moments that define courage, not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. You might think, well, I haven't done anything like that. But don't underestimate the power of small acts of bravery. When was the last time you did something that was difficult for you, something that required courage? Perhaps you spoke up against injustice, or offered a helping hand to a stranger, or stood up for what you believed in even when others disagreed with you. Remember, courage isn't just found in grand heroic acts. It's found in the everyday decisions to be kind, to be helpful, and to be true to yourself. Sometimes the most challenging act of courage is simply being yourself in a world that tries to make you conform. So don't ever think that your actions are too small to make a difference. Your bravery can inspire others and create ripples of kindness and strength that extend far beyond your wildest imagination. And let's not forget the importance of acknowledging the courage of others. When you see someone displaying bravery, take a moment to appreciate them. Let them know that their actions didn't go unnoticed. Your words of encouragement can be a source of strength for them. Being brave doesn't mean you never feel fear or sadness. It means that even when you do, you choose to rise above it. You choose to be kind, to be helpful, and to be true to yourself. The little bird may have been the most timid creature in the forest, but it also became the bravest. It showed us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the presence of a strong will and a kind heart. As we come to the end of our story today, I want you to remember that you are braver than you think. You have the ability to make a positive impact on the world. So whenever you face challenges, big or small, remember the little bird in the tree. Remember the values of kindness, courage, and perseverance. Before we part ways, I have a request. If you enjoyed this story and want more such tales, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and consider subscribing. Your support motivates me to bring more joy and life lessons to you. Until next time, keep being brave and kind. And remember, the most timid bird can become the bravest when it has to. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.